We did so much good. We did so much good. When I was president, we redid the whole kitchen because that was also where the children ate, down in the old building. Someone else had done things like they put in the library up in the old school. It was up on the top floor. They did many good things for the nuns, and they did many good things for the church. We bought things for the church, and we met. The women did a lot of background work. Also, we did a lot of, when anyone died that was a person from the Women's Club, we had a Eucharistic person who had charge of telling us that when we should go to a funeral. And I remember this one time, Mary Burns was on my board, and she called me and said I should go to this certain funeral parlor, and that it was a Mrs. So-and-so. It was one of our members, and she had died. So I went that night, and I got in, and as I came in, the family was there, and I went to the family, and I said, I'm Mrs. Nicol from Women's Club, and I said, we are so sorry to hear about the death, and I have come just to say some prayers and sign the book. And I signed the book, and I went and knelt down to say the prayers, and it was a man. It wasn't a woman. And in the meantime, they're saying, I can't believe that someone from Women's Club would come for Dad. I quickly got out of there, ran to a phone, and called Mary, and I said, what did you say? Who did you say it was, and where is she? Turned out she was at the white mortuary, but Mary had thought she was at the other one. So then I went over there and made amends. But we did a lot of good, and there were 2,000 members of just the women. And we worked a lot with the Holy Name Society. But our main purpose was to support the school. And we really supported it. We bought books, we gave parties for the kids when it was something special, like at Christmas when they were just going home for the vacation time. We just, supplies, we just bought loads of supplies, and we took care that the nuns were not overlooked. And it was a good organization. We did a lot. We had dues, and we put on birthday luncheons, we put on plays, we put on things, and we took up collections constantly. Every time there was a meeting, which was once a month, we'd be taking up a collection for something. And there was no grumbling about it. It was the only way that the school could be supported. So, and I remember we helped on a lot of things. At one time, we always had ice cream socials on the priest's lawn, in front of the priest's house, and we did a lot of that. And I was just like every other girl that went to Incarnation. When I was in 8th grade, I was convinced I was going to be a nun. And then I got over to Bryant and discovered boys, and I decided maybe not. But they were wonderful. They were very good teachers, not just keeping us on the straight and narrow, but they also were very good teachers. When I got to Bryant, and nothing against the public schools, but I was miles ahead of the others at Bryant, and I only went there for 9th grade, and then went to Central. And I do have to say that every school I've gone to is no longer in existence. I've been just bad news for everybody. Even I went to night school, even they were gone. When I moved to Mankato to be with my son because my husband had Alzheimer's, he asked me please not to go across the street to the high school because he wanted his kids to go there. I was in the January class, and so I graduated in January 33. And then I graduated from Central in 37. And because in those days, nobody had money to send their kids to college. it was the times of the Great Depression and trying to come out of it. And so I was one of 300 who graduated in January, and only 2 of us got a job as we got out of school. I had worked at the switchboard at Central, and so I got a job at North Rhine Electric working the switchboard. The Depression didn't hit me as hard as it did some of my friends. My dad was on the railroad, and his job was secure. But my friends, I had friends whose parents were, I guess now we say on the dole, but they were getting boxes of food delivered because nobody was working, and they were going to Incarnation without paying anything at all. And then when we went to public school, by that time their parents were beginning to get a foothold. And I had a lot of friends who had nothing. They didn't get any new clothes, but when you're a child, it doesn't make any difference. You know, but for both First Communion and Confirmation, the girls sat on this side and the boys sat on that side, and the boys went up first, and then the girls were allowed to go up. And it used to burn me even then. Even then, it burned me. And then when I was president of Women's Club, I had the honor of being the sponsor for all the children who were confirmed. And I stand behind each one and hold my hand on their children. I was very proud of that. Except I kept thinking, if something goes wrong, what'll I do about it? 49 is when I was president of Women's Club, 49 and 50.